Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a full mod review plus guide for Tinker's Construct. Quick note before we actually start, I'm currently playing this version of Tinker's Construct, so if you're playing a later version, there might be changes and additions to the game that were not in this version yet, so just be aware of that. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. So I'm just going to be starting with the Smeltery over here. So the Smeltery is about the most important multi-block inside Tinker's Construct, so the moment you join your world, I suggest you make one of those straight away, because it's just really good. So how you actually make it is using all of these materials over here. The key component to actually make all these materials are seared bricks, which you get from smelting grout in the furnace. And how you make grout is by combining gravel, sand, and clay. Red sand also works. So yeah, after you got yourself like a lot of these seared bricks, you can make all of these components over here. So I'm just going to be making a basic smeltery over here. For that you need 30 seared bricks, one seared tank, one smeltery controller, one seared drain, two seared faucets, one casting basin, and one casting table. So first of all, we start by making a bit of a floor. The floor of the smeltery can range from a 2 by 2 all the way to a 9 by 9. Like the bigger the area, the better the smeltery, I guess. But I'm just going to be making a 3 by 3 for now. After that, you make a bit of a wall over here. Then you place yourself one smeltery controller. This is how you're going to access the multi-block. One seared tank and one seared drain. And yeah, once the thing lights up, the multi-block is finished. But I'm just gonna be making it one block higher, so it's a bit better than normal. And then over here, we're gonna place our casting base on our casting table and two faucets above them. So yeah, now our multi-block is finished, and the only thing we should actually still have to do is just right-click with a lava bucket on the seared tank. So what can you actually do with a smeltery really? Like the smeltery lets you smelt down your ores into their molten form and store them in the smeltery. Like for example, if I would smelt down one iron ore, you would get two iron ingots worth of molten iron. So yeah, it's really good. It's just a very basic way of ore duping. So what do you do from this point on? Like after you smelt down your ores, of course you want some like iron and stuff from it. So if you want to actually get rid of for example, if I want to have a block of gold over here, you have yourself a casting basin with a faucet above it next to your seared drain. You right click the faucet and it'll start letting gold flow into there. And after some time, it'll make us a gold block, and yeah, we can make use of it then. But yeah, that was the smeltery. I'm going to be explaining these casting tables a bit later when I go to the tool section of this video. But yeah, we still have two other multi-blocks we have to take a look at. The first one of those is the Tinker's Tank. The Tinker's Tank is, like the name says, it just stores, it's a better way of storing your molten ores and stuff. Like if you imagine your smeltery being full and you need space, so you can just transfer of those over a bit of a system over here using casting channels and some seared faucets. So like for example, if I want to get rid of my, let's say I want to get rid of my iron, so we right click the faucet over here, and over the seared casting channel we can it will start to let the molten iron flow into our Tinker's Tank. And you can see already here it's flowing. Yeah, it's flowing in. If I want to flow it back, you can select it. If you select like for example molten metal, it'll go down to the bottom, and when it's at the bottom you just right click and then it'll go back into the smeltery. So yeah, this is the tank. So now how you actually build it. So to actually build one of these, you need two seared drain, one Tinker tank controller, 15 seared bricks, 2 seared faucets, 8 seared brick slabs, and well, it depends how far you want to transport it. Like I always use, I used 4 over here in this kind of system over here if you're building it right next to your smeltery. So yeah, just get as many as you need really. But yeah. So first of all, making it like I'm gonna make the smallest possible one because like I think this kind of size is big enough really. So yeah, first of all you make yourself a 3 by 3. Then you have to make a big of a block, but in the middle block has to be air, so it actually works. Then you replace one of the middle blocks over here for a Tinker's Tank controller, and then you just place yourself your seared drains. One seared drain is going to be the input, so like it has to be on the bottom layer, and one will be the output, which will have to be on the top layer. Because if you have noticed over here, the faucet has to be one block above the casting channel. So yeah, that's the Tinker's Tank for you. So to our last multi-block is the seared furnace. The seared furnace is, well, the name says everything already. It's a better furnace really. Like you can just smelt more items at once. It's also quite simple. I'm just going to be building it now. So I'm also going to be making again the very small one. You can start, like, by the way, all these multi-blocks can start from a 2x2 all the way to a 9x9 except for the Tinker's Tank, which can start by 1x1. So yeah, first of all you make yourself a bit of a ring over here. This time the corners has to be filled out, unlike the Smeltery over here. So you make a bit of a ring, then you replace one of the blocks with a furnace seared controller, and the seared tank has to be placed in the corners over here. You also have to place a bit of a roof over here. You can use bricks, seared brick slabs because they're just cheaper to craft. The same thing goes over here, so for example I can just replace everything besides the seared reinforced seared bricks slabs. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, you only need 14 seared bricks, 1 seared furnace controller, 1 seared tank, and 4 seared slabs to actually make the whole system. After that, you just have to right click with a lava bucket over here to fill it up, and you can already put like cookable items, like for example potatoes over here. This is like the smallest seared furnace you can make, and you can already smelt 60 potatoes per slot. So it's a really good smelting system. So yeah. That was the seared tank. So that was all the multi blocks. If it was a bit too fast for you guys, just rewind the video a bit. Like, yeah. Now we're moving on to actually the ore and materials section and tool making section. So this mod adds 2 new ores to the game. Well, both of them spawn in the nether, but you need a pickaxe with a breaking power of 4 or higher. That means you need at least an obsidian pickaxe to actually break them, which I'm going to be showing you how to make in a second. And the mod also adds 3 new alloys: Manulian, Pig Iron, and Nice. I'm going to be showing you how to make Manulian like right now. So how you actually make alloys is by putting the necessary components. For example, for Manulian, you need to combine molten cobalt and molten iodide. For example, over here we have some iodide over here, and in our Tinker's Tank from before we have some cobalt. So if I would let this cobalt now flow into the smeltery, it would start creating Manulian. So yeah, this is the basic process of how you actually make alloys, and so yeah. Now to how you actually can get these 2 ores. So like I said before, you need an obsidian pickaxe. So to make yourself a tinker's pickaxe, or like any kind of tinker's related tool, you need 3 blocks. You need a stencil table, a part builder, and a tool station, which you can upgrade later to a tool forge. So with the stencil table, you can make yourself your part of what you want to make it. If you want to see what parts you need, you can go to your tool station and select pickaxe. So you can see what you need. You need a tool rod, a pickaxe set, and a binding. So I'm going to be making that real quick. After that, you go then to the part builder and then just make parts out of them. By the way, with the part builder, you can use any kind of material. So for example, if I were to get some sponge over here, which is not an ore, like a metal, I can make a sponge pickaxe set and stuff, but for now I'm just going to be using wood. So yeah. If you can also make yourself a pattern chest that you can also store those patterns really easy, so you don't have to like let them lying around the chest for a while. So if you want to make yourself an ore related pickaxe head, for example, you need just to make yourself a cast. To make yourself a cast, you'll need gold. So for example, if I want to make myself a pickaxe head cast and a binding cast. For that, you have to select the gold on the bottom and just right click the faucet. Using above the casting table, it then makes the casts. It also consumes the materials, by the way. So yeah, now you have your cast, and then you can actually put yourself your obsidian in there. But the thing is, I currently do not have any obsidian there, so what do we do about that? So it's very simple. You can using a seared gauge, which you can make by doing this, and you just right click with for example a water bucket or a lava bucket, and it will start flowing in there. So yeah, after we let the lava flow in, so as you can see over here, it lets lava flow into it, and then we just let water flow in it, and you can see already here it's starting to make molten obsidian. Once all the water flowed in, it just like our 1 bucket of water and lava just made 1 molten obsidian block. So we can use the molten obsidian block to actually make ourselves our pickaxe set now. It perfectly uses the obsidian block, by the way. And just for the funsies, I'm just gonna make myself an iron binding. Why not? So yeah, this is how you actually make casts and use them. So you just have to make the casts 1 time. After that, everything is really simple. So yeah, now we can make ourselves a pickaxe. So we go to our tool station, we go to the pickaxe section, then we just put our components over here, and we have ourselves an obsidian pickaxe. So if you shift over here, you can see durability, mining level, mining speed. The important thing is the mining level, because the mining level cobalt means it can break cobalt ore and ardite ore. And you can also, well, you can break it with any pickaxe, but you only get the items if you use this kind of pickaxe. So yeah, that's the base way of actually making these making Tinker's tools. Like, you just have to follow these steps. If you want to make something metal related, just make yourself a cast for that, and yeah. After you actually make yourself your Tinker's tool, I suggest you actually upgrade your station to a Tinker's, to a tool station, which you make by using 4 blocks of any kind of ore, and, well, like, yeah, you can see over here, 2 pig, iron, night slime, anything really. You also need 3 silt bricks of any kind of type. So yeah, after you make this, you have access to all of the different types of tools you can make. Like over here, just you're very limited over here, but here you have free usage of everything. So now I'm gonna show you how to make quite some OP tools, for example, like the bow, the sword, and the pickaxe. I'm just gonna be starting with the bow over here. So to make how I made the bow is using a cobalt bow limb and a string bowstring. So I'm gonna go to a short bow over here, and I make myself a short bow. Then I'm going to emboss it. If you do not know what embossing is, it adds the perks of a selected type. For example, I'm using paper over here. Like, I'm just going to be adding the paper perks to this bow over here. So like, the bow does not change in any kind of stats, it just adds the perk of it. And what does the perk do? It adds more modifiers to this thing. So I can put more modifiers. Modifiers are like enchantments. So for this kind of bow, I'm actually going to put 5 times redstone on it. So yeah. Each redstone increases the draw speed of it, so just like, yeah, you know where this is going. You can probably already understand where this is gonna go. Because I'm in creative, I'm already having an arrow, but like it shoots really fast. Like it just 2-shot that skeleton over there. But that's not like, I was using only a casually, I was only using the casual vanilla arrow. Like after I actually make the super OP arrow over here, you'll see how OP things can get over here. So. But now to the arrow actually. So for the arrow I used a Manulian arrowhead, a bone arrow shaft, and a feather flashlight. I also embossed it again with paper. So doing that, then doing this. So what I actually used over here is quite interesting because I used 5 times reinforcements because we have 5 modifiers over here, and reinforcement has the perk of reducing the durability chance of by 20%. So while technically if you would just do 5 times reinforcement, it will become unbreakable. That means combined with the bow we have like unlimited arrows, which is cool. So now we're actually gonna go to the sword. So for the sword, I used the Manulian sword blade, another rack crossguard, and the bone tool fractures. Right? Why did these two materials are not like metal, so you can just make them by using the part builder. And I embossed it with paper sword blade. So yeah, I'm making the sword. I also made this is a rapier, by the way. The rapier is the best of all the swords over here, if you're wondering. So yeah. So now we have ourselves our embossed rapier. So what I actually put on the rapier was 3 times quartz, and I do not have any necrotic bones. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just got myself some necrotic bones over here. We just need 1 really. So yeah, I'm just gonna put our sword in the middle, upgrade it 3 times, and we're gonna put our necrotic ball in it, which gives lifesteal, by the way. So yeah, now we actually have our OP sword. Like, it attacks super fast. It needs like 3 swords, but against because the ability of Hellish lets you do more damage against non-net mobs. That's why it just reduced damage to. But like normally you can 2-shot actually any normal mob really, and if you press right click, it's just a bonus really. You just jump back a couple, I don't know, jump back a block, I guess. Yeah. Well, actually now to the pickaxe really. So for the pickaxe I used 3 times mending moss and some lapis. I also used cobalt, obsidian, and firewood, and embossing paper. So yeah, I'm making the pickaxe over here, embossing it again, and adding the modifiers. The lapis is one of the special modifiers. Like, You can apply 3 times lapis to a pickaxe without using with only using 1 modifier. So now we have 3 modifiers left, which I'm going to be putting the rest on. Mending moss, which gives the mending effect. Yeah. So what's the good thing about this pickaxe? Like, this pickaxe is OP. So if you did not know yet, let me go in survival for quick. So you can see over here, with this pickaxe over here, it has auto smelt, which says what it does really. It smelts ores, and luck. So if you combine these two, I just got 2 ingots from that 1 ore. I just got 4 ingots from that 1 ore. See, it just depends. Like you can technically just fortune your ores now, which is really OP. So yeah, we just from that 6 ores we just got 19 ingots, which is really OP. So yeah, now to actually the last tool, the hammer. So for the hammer, I use cobalt hammerhead, sponge large plate, a paper large plate, and a nighttime tough tool rod. And I embossed it with tough tool rod. I also used again 5 times reinforcement, just like the arrow over here, to make it unbreakable. So yeah, just combining that and embossing it with the paper, and then adding the reinforcements. Like because we have 5 times reinforcements, we cannot actually add anything. So like now it's unbreakable, so we can just strip mine forever. It also breaks the 3x3 ore. The only reason why I add a sponge plate is because it gives the squeak effect, which gives silk touch. So if you pick up any ores like diamonds, for example, yeah, we get those, and we can just fortune it with our pickaxe from before. So yeah, this was all the ores, and that was all the ores, and well, anything tool related in this mod. So yeah, just moving on to some other stuff now. Okay, so now to some miscellaneous stuff that the mod actually adds that has nothing really to do with all the tools over here. So first of all, it adds stone rods, which is literally just like sticks. You can use almost anything really sticks. So for example, we can make stone ladders or stone torches. Like, it may look really cool. It may look cool in castle builds, but I guess I don't really see any other use for them. Another thing would be punji sticks, which is like what you get slowness to when you step on them, by the way. They also do constant damage when you're in survival. So yeah, it's quite pointy. Then we have like a cheaper version of vanilla rails, wooden rails. Like, I don't understand really the wooden rail to trapdoor. I must actually experiment with it a bit before I can actually say some things about it, but it's just a cheaper version of the vanilla rail, not using any iron. Then we have some racks over here. One of them is the item rack, which does not really do anything, it just showcases the item over here. And the other one, we have a drying rack, which can actually do something. For example, if you would with rotten flesh or any kind of raw meat or fish, you'll turn it into their jerky form. For example, if I would put rotten flesh on the drying rack, it'll turn it eventually into a monster jerky, which just gives the same food status as rotten flesh, but without the hunger effect. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Then it adds also a couple of new blocks. One of them would be smooth brownstone, which lets you move a bit faster on it. Like you can make a cool roll, I guess, maybe moving a bit faster, I guess. But yeah, otherwise not really anything really useful. Then we have dried clay. This has no use at all, it's just for building purposes. In my opinion, it may look cool in some builds, but I don't really have an idea for this kind of block. But yeah, the next thing would be graveyard soil and consecrated soil. So for consecrated soil, it hurts undead by when stepping on it, and it heals for graveyard soil, it heals undead when standing on it. So yeah. Then it also adds a couple other things. For example, it adds glow balls, which just give a bit of it just lights up the area around it when thrown on and landed. Like, it's good for cave exploring, I guess. And then we have this explosive, for example. For example, you see that tree over there. The tree is completely gone. Yeah, the tree is completely gone. Yeah. So yeah, it's not. Don't walk around this in your hotbar while in your friend's base or your own base. So yeah. Then we have this thing over here. It's a slime. It's a blue slime. The mod also adds a new type of slime. It's the blue slime. If you kill it, you'll get blue slime balls, which I'm going to be showing you now over here. So it adds a lot of slime related stuff in this mod too. So like I said before, blue slime balls that you can get from killing those stuff over there. Purple slime balls by breaking some slime tree leaves that are purple. Yes, there are slime trees over here. This, then the orange slime ball you can get it from how do you call it? In the Nether, there are also these slime islands spawning. They also spawn the overworld like right over there. They also have like blocks like you can find Kong-leaded blocks like just spawning around them. Like yeah, you can break them and then if you place it in the crafting table, you get the slime balls. It works. It does all kinds of for all these four over here. There's also saplings, so you can replant those trees over there. It also adds the slime blocks and it adds slime channels. Slime channels are interesting because they work a bit like, yeah, they're a bit of like a conveyor belt, really. If I can get it to work, really. Yes, for example, see, it's just like if I go into there, it's not moving me. It also works with items and stuff. Then we have some gelatinous slime drops, which you get from like drying a slime ball on the drying rack over here, and it'll just give you a boost that the slime balls get without the bad ones. So yeah. Then over here, I have not talked about this yet. The coagulated blood is like, it's actually blood. Like you go into survival, you stand the smeltery while there's some molten liquid in it, and it'll start generating lava into the smeltery from how much damage you take. The more damage you take, the more blood generated, and then if you right click with blood in there and on the faucet without anything, any cast or anything like that, it'll just make yourself a blood bowl. And if the 4 blood balls, you can make yourself a block. If 9 of them, you can make a slime block, and so on. Like all these things are very alike. Then we have some gadgets over here. Um, one of them is the slime boots, which make sure that you do not take any fall damage. For example, if I go in survival over here, I just jump up again. And then the slime slinger just shoots you up. It's a very great way for travel running, to be honest, like for example. And if you sneak while actually jumping, then you'll not take. For example, it's very good for like you just jump. Well, if there were not a wall over there, I would just jump all the way to that forest over there. But yeah, I think that might be actually everything in the mod. So, so guys, if you enjoyed this video and this was in any way helpful, please like, subscribe. If you have any other mod suggestion of what I can make a video on next, then let me know down in the comments. And yeah, if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.